You grew up in Michigan?
Yeah, Monroe. It's a small town. It's here.
Okay.
Little south.
Where's General Motors?
Yeah,
okay.
so Detroit is like up here, and then I'm down here. So you go up a little, you go out to here to Lansing, and down here you got Ohio. So I'm like right at the border between Michigan and Ohio, about 30 minutes south, because we don't do miles in Michigan. It's how long the distance is to drive there is in minutes or hours.
That's true.
Yeah, so we drive about 30 minutes north to get to Detroit, or 30 minutes south to get to Toledo, Ohio. So.
Interesting. Okay.
Small town. It's maybe population like 350,000. So it's not like a tiny town, but it's definitely not a city size.
And were there writers, people that you could emulate, or was this more based on General Motors and sort of Lee Iacocca was considered?
Yeah, most of the stuff. So because we're not even far enough to Detroit to have a lot of General Motors workers. So in Monroe, we have the Edison power plant, and and then what's it called? I don't remember the name of it. There's a glass factory that also is like the two of them were like the two main employers in my town, with the power plant and the glass place. We also are the home of Lazy Boy chairs. They have their world corporate office is there in Monroe as well. So they have plenty of people working there. Those are pretty much the main employers in that town. So, but I grew up with parents who are teachers, so they were working in the school districts and stuff.
Oh, so they fostered a love of books.
Oh yeah, and writing even. Like my mom's biggest punishment for us as kids was writing by hand. Like, so let's say we said a swear word, she would make us look up the definition of the swear word in the dictionary, and then write the definition by hand, like between 50 to 100 times, depending on the severity of the curse word. And that was her primary form of punishment for us, was having to handwrite things. Or like if we did something wrong, we have to do like you see on The Simpsons when he's writing on the chalkboard, like, I will not, blah, blah, blah. You had to do that sort of thing. So I still have terrible handwriting, though. So she couldn't read what I was writing, but, you would think that my handwriting would improve after writing the same thing 4,000 times in an hour. But, yeah, not so much.
So then you never viewed it as punishment. It sounds like there was something you found in it.
It kind of started, since I'm already writing stuff, I'm like, well, as long as I'm having to write, I might as well write my own stuff too. And I won my first short story contest in kindergarten. Wrote the story was how Daddy tried to catch the bat. We seemed to get a bat would get into the house every winter, and me and my dad would have to be the ones to take, because my sister and my mom were terrified of bats. So we would go down there with tennis racket and a fishing net, and trap it between it and take it outside and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Catch and release.
Yeah. So we did that. I wrote that, like I said, it was kindergarten's 5, 6 years old and stuff. Wrote that, won a contest. And in that same contest, it was called the Young Authors Competition. And it was in all the elementary schools and junior high and high schools in the area basically had, one person per grade got sent there. And I got sent there 6 times. I did kindergarten, 3rd grade, 5th grade, a couple times in high school, so always been writing since forever, basically.
When you told them that you wanted to come to Los Angeles to be a TV writer, What was their impression?
It kind of mixed, because there's obviously no guarantee. Writing is the hardest thing to make money at, so growing up, even when I wanted to do something in the arts, because I used to sing in choirs and stuff too when I was growing up. So I wanted to be a singer for a while. I wanted to be a writer, be a poet, all this other stuff. So they're like, well, that's great, but you need to find a way to make money too, So because I even mentioned in my book how hard it is to be, there's a statistic in the book that it's actually, there are more working football players in the NFL than there are working writers in the WGA.
Wow.
So it's hugely, hard to get into, because there's so many people doing it and so many talented people doing it too, So you could be an amazing writer in your hometown and you're just one of a number out here in LA.